Hello, gorgeous. Hello. Wow, I believe it or not, I'm having an amazing time. Just being in this space is just remarkable. I'm just so grateful. Thank you, Miss Nina Dawson, for inviting me to stand. To stand before, just amazing, amazing women and men that are here. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you to Ulster Savings Bank for providing not just this space, but this stage that consistently uplifts community voices. Your commitment shows that people in this community matter and deserve to be seen. So thank you. Tonight is about celebrating women who accept the truth of their greatness and refuse to let life injustices define or deter them from what God imagined over their lives. Every one of us carries stories that have tested our fortitude and perseverance. We have the power to influence, to shift atmospheres, to change the trajectory of our families and communities. How many of you believe that about yourself? Raise your hand. Yeah. Because if you don't believe it, you will shrink from opportunities designed to move you forward. And that brings me to the message I want to leave with you. Sometimes the greatest injustice we face is the injustice we commit against ourselves. We say no because we're too afraid to say yes. We talk ourselves out of opportunities because we're afraid to fail, afraid to be seen trying, and afraid of being judged. But the prize of doing it anyway, the prize for pivoting in the face of fear, is growth, clarity, and alignment with your authentic self. Many of us have seen the movie The Color Purple, right? They did a remake of it recently. One of the most powerful scenes is when Celie awakening when Suge invites Celie to leave Mr. After years of being unseen, abused, mistreated, Celie finally rises up and says to Mr., as Suge and her husband and Celie are driving away, I'm poor, I'm black, and I may even be ugly, but dear God, I'm here. I am here. That moment didn't erase her struggles, but it shifted her identity. She stopped accepting the version of herself that others tried to hand her. I've had moments like that too. Moments where life injustices forced me to pivot or to be crushed. Let me share two of those moments with you. Pivot one was losing my mother. And thank you, Ubaka. Christine is her name. Ashe to her soul. Losing a mother at any age is devastating. Losing mine at 15, my only blood family, felt unbearable. I had already learned to be self-reliant because she battled breast cancer for 8 years and was in and out of hospitals. But knowing she was never coming back was overwhelming. After she passed, I learned she had arranged for me to live with a trusted friend who I affectionately was to call Aunt Becky. Moving meant changing schools, and at 15, the only stability I had was my school. I had been in that school since 4th grade. Leaving felt unfair. My stepfather, Wellington, was still in the home, We did not get along. He was a horrible husband. But my mother stayed. And there I was, willing to remain in a toxic environment just to stay in familiar surroundings. I had my first real conversation with myself. Mommy is gone. This man cannot guide you. You need to go and be with Aunt Becky. You need to go to college. Maya Angelou, which is also someone that I admire greatly, so much that I named my daughter after her, said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. He showed me, I believed him, and I left. Adjusting to a new school 4 times the size of my old one was hard. Making new friends was hard. Graduating on time with a Regents diploma was hard. But I did it with God's grace, Aunt Becky's support, a caring guidance counselor, and my mother's friends who loved me like their own. And I went on to college and then graduate school. But if I had stayed in the Bronx, I don't believe I would have made it. My mother tried many times to finish her degree. I needed to finish for her and for me. Pivot 2 was leaving stagnation behind. Years later, I found myself at not 1 but 2 jobs where advancement was impossible. 16 years of working hard but going nowhere. No growth, no purpose, no real compensation. I knew I deserved more. I knew God had more for me, but I had to pivot to reach it. So I started attending conferences, retreats, workshops, surrounding myself with positive, confident women. Some of those women are here today. Pastor Doris Schuyler, Mother Ida Childress, and Elder Violet Machado. At one of those events, I ran into someone I knew professionally from a firm that I had admired. I actually wanted to work for them, but didn't know how to get to them because I was considered their client. They were our broker. So him and we talked at this conference. He saw something in me. He mentioned a role that wasn't even advertised. Within 2 weeks, I was interviewing. Within 3 weeks, I had an offer. And 9 years later, I'm still at that firm, promoted twice, salary increased by 95%, and treated as a trusted adult whose voice matters. You never know who's watching you. You never know which room your name is being spoken in. But you must be willing to pivot to receive what's already yours. So what does it mean to be a superwoman who pivots? It means you don't let injustice have the final say. You don't let fear make your decisions. You don't shrink to make others comfortable. You don't apologize for wanting more, needing more, and becoming more. It means you rise, you adjust, you shift, you move, you pivot. Not because life is easy, but because you are called. Every pivot I've made, whether forced by pain or inspired by possibility, has brought me closer to the woman God intended me to be. And the same is true to you. So today I honor every woman in this room who has pivoted through heartbreak, disappointment, injustice, and fear. You are still here, you are still rising, you are still becoming, and your destiny is still unfolding.
That's right.